guys, thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. And for those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Catherine and I tell true stories and facts. Today I'm going to tell you stories on why people who go and work in the Gulf, and especially ladies, come back in coffins or are deported. So this is my story today. You know, in the Gulf countries, well, people believe that since it's an Islamic state, it must be very strict. Well, I can tell you this is not the case, because the more you restrict people from doing something, the more they want to break the rule. Yeah, it's true. If you keep something there for people to take, they will not take it, but if you hide it, they'll start looking for it. It's true. And that's why the more strict you are, the more the people will want to mess around. So what am I trying to drive at? In the Gulf, most of the people who are there, let's just face reality, most of them have their husbands or wives back in their countries, and so they're just here in the Gulf. They're there in the Gulf just to make money and send it back home and go home maybe once in a while for vacations. So they see maybe their wives once a year. It's not online every day, but once a year. So what are they doing? What are their wives doing back in the Gulf? What are their husbands doing back in the Gulf? And that's why you see most of them end up being divorced. And on the other hand, in the Gulf countries, which is an Islamic state, most of the marriages, I can say, are not forced, but they get a spouse for you, because there's nothing like dating in Islam. They get a husband for you, they get a wife for you, and most of the time they see each other on their wedding day. And then there is, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you 3 times, and you're divorced if you did not like the wife or the husband. And so most of these people end up messing around with the foreigners, and the foreigners also messing around with the foreigners, those without moral values. And so you find that when a housemaid, for example, as most of the African ladies, like from Uganda or from Kenya, end up in the Gulf going to work as housemaids, especially in Saudi. But most of them also don't work as housemates. They have other jobs besides being housemates. So these housemates, the husbands who are not strict, have access to them. Like, they see them as, whoa, this is something very exotic, you know. They want to try out something not their own. And so they start flirting around. And women from like Kenya and Uganda have this mentality of if somebody's husband is flirting with them, they think the wife is not taking good care of him. And they have this thing of, if he cannot take care of you, then I will take care of you. My friend, don't try that in the Gulf. Don't try that in the Gulf. This is how most of them end up in coffins. They think they're having a secret affairs with their husband, with their wives, or with the husbands, thinking that the wife doesn't know. But most of the time the wife knows, but she didn't choose the husband, so maybe she didn't have that feeling for him, but still there is this jealous thing of, even if I did not choose him, you have no right to access him. And so they will either plant things on the women, like robbery or even murder, and frame the maids, or just, and they get thrown in prison, or they just kill you. Like, we have some cases of women being found in fridges and thrown into the desert. You know, they have so much money, and if you can fit in a fridge, they can throw it, kill you, pay somebody to go and dispose you of, because there nobody cares. As long as nobody says anything, as long as the money is talking, nobody will be bothering to go and report like, oh, I was sent by this person to do this. No. They are there to look for money. Everybody is there to look for money. And they go flirting with the husbands of their employers' husbands, and the wives get to know them. Shoo, you're done. They kill you. Then you hear, oh, why are Kenyan ladies coming back dead in coffins, or with broken limbs, or with that and that? Well, any human being, even if they think you're kafir, as in you're an unbeliever in their religion, I think they have some humanity. So unless you did really something evil to them, then they will react like that. Of course, some are just evil. Yes, they are. But most of the time, they will get irritated and get rid of you. There was this case of ladies working in hotels and airlines. In the Gulf, there are some women, and they say 80% of the women are making money out of prostitution. Not really standing on the streets, but they have ways of doing it in private. But there's some who are still standing on the street. So there was this time that almost all ladies from Morocco were deported on the same day. Deported on the same day. Within 24 hours. So watch to the end to know what happened. So there are a category of prostitutes in the Gulf. Well, let me start with the most expensive ones. There are the Russians. Those ones are very expensive. Whoever buys them pays a very high price. Then followed by Moroccans. Those are also very expensive. So another high price. Then the rest follow with a normal price. Filipinos are here as the cheapest. So, because most of them do it to take care of the family, but these other top ones, they do it just to add on to their luxuries. So there is this Moroccans who will go to work. They don't actually. Their work, their job that they were called for, the one that brought them in for a visa, is just to keep them busy during the day. But their main purpose is to prostitute, as in they got the visa for their current jobs like hoteliers or cabin crews, just to keep them in the Gulf so that they make money out of prostitution. I'm not saying all of them, but this is what most of them do. So, what happens is they're working as waitresses or working as hotel butlers, and they're breaking the professional ethics of keeping distance. Be friendly, but not friends. And so they go flirting around with the guests who are Arabic and coming to spend the night in the hotel. And so are the cabin crews also, and other professions from Morocco. Because when they come here, they realize, oh, they are very marketable in this field, in this oldest profession. So, one day, people woke up and did not see any Moroccan at their workplace. Cabin crews, not at their workplace. Hoteliers, waitresses, butlers, not at their workplace. Front desk, not at their workplace. And one common thing they noticed is they were all Moroccans. Rumor went around, not rumor, but the truth came out. They had been deported within 24 hours. As in, you will not have time to look behind to try and get your stuff. Leave. Whatever happens to your stuff is your problem. They left just like that. How did they know? There is something called CID in the Gulf. CID. They're called religious police sometimes even, but some can get CIDs to do the job for them. So these CIDs were watching them. The wives are not so stupid. They knew what their husbands are doing. And so they send them to study the situation until the last minute is when they caught them on the same day. As in they, what do you call it, looted them, or what is the term that it raided them, you know. I don't know whether they used a truck to collect them or what, but they do very good work, these CIDs. And the girls, normally the states are very small, so the network of these Arab ladies is very small. Word goes around very fast, and they come together and deal with one situation and finish it once and for all. Not that they're interested in their husbands, but just leave them alone. Chana now. Can't, if you want to mess around, do that in your country, but not in the girl, because your day will come. You're gonna be caught. So they were deported just like that, because the CIDs were watching them every step. And they really do it. Because there was one time I was working at a workplace that somebody sent an email mentioning everybody's name. Everybody's name. They know people, but you don't know them. It could just be one of the guests who comes and sits there and you serve them, or you attend to them. You don't know that they're CID. It could be a construction worker just sitting out there, but it's CID. They come in all forms. You never know them. And so when you see bodies coming back to the country, some come back genuinely. They died genuinely. Maybe they fell sick. Things like that. But most of them, why do you think they're women? Why don't the men die? Don't the men die? Think about it. So if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.